Good evening to everybody. I welcome all the stalwarts on this CLE webinar meeting on the dynamic leadership of our chairman, Sri Akhil Ahmed, and all other active participants of our participants. And on behalf of our regional chairman and ex-chairman, I warmly welcome to this webinar. Though one of the happiest movement, it seems like that, because I could see the smiling face among all the members of this council. Though we are crossing through the toughest time, but the smile says there are smiles gives lots of positivity for our future. With this, on behalf of CLE and chairman, I welcome you once again for this meeting. I kindly request our chairman to start the meeting. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Namaste, namaskar, good evening to all of you for joining today's meeting. I think this is the first time that we are addressing on this crisis, and also after a very, very long time. And today we have in the panel your chairman, your vice chairman, your regional chairman, and your executive directors, who will be speaking about various subjects to find a way to come out of this crisis. Health crisis, the economic crisis, and the financial crisis has put all of us in anxiety, stress, difficulties, and has created isolation of people and joblessness. The world never used to sleep, but today we see shutdown, closures, lockdown in every continent. COVID-19 has brought to us a new normal life, which will be the new way of life going forward. And we have to accept the reality of today. At this point, I want to put in record the great support to our industry by the Government of India under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, by bringing the various schemes, including the Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme, will enable the growth of our country and our business. It is only due to Digital India scheme announced in the year 2015 that we are able to do online and banking transaction. Again, thanks to our Honorable Minister, Prime Minister, Honorable Finance Minister, and also to the, to bring this scheme, which is easy for us to do the transaction today, even in the lockdown. And the biggest reform, GST, which we could see very successfully running today, one nation, one tax. At this point, I would like to keep in record our Honorable Minister for Commerce Industry, Shri Piyush Goyal ji, Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari ji, Honorable Minister Finance Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji for all the support measures, and we need to appreciate all the efforts and support by this government. And also the various Honorable Chief Minister of State have stood us in supporting during the special crisis that we are going through during the COVID-19. CLE has been receiving a lot of worrying information pertaining to the loss of overseas orders, bankruptcies of companies, orders on hold. My own company lost $3.9 million in one day. And today my business is running at 40% capacity. And I'm also in a deep problem situation, but nevertheless, we all will come out soon successfully. At this time, we have to understand how we can survive. I have a good example which I wanted to share in this meeting with all of you, is the advice given by a business coach in New York to me. He said, very simple calculation today to compare and survive in this very difficult moment is your overheads in today's turnover. With that of your turnover, imagine what is the turnover today and what is the turnover in the past. If your turnover is the same, you're in a good position. But if your sales is like 30% down, 40% down, I did the same analysis for my company, which I said like 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you go back, take your balance sheet, see what expenses you have incurred, that exactly try to match those expenses. And I'm sure at that time you had a profitable balance sheet. And this is how we need to adjust. We need to go back and see where we stand today compared to where we were post pre-COVID situation. And this is the only way that we can control. I know for sure that business is going to be very difficult, but we have to survive, we have to make money, we have to make profit this year too. CLE has been working very hard in these difficult times. I had personally attended more than 45 meetings, webinars till June, reaching to every government persons and every possible association to tie up. We had a video conference meeting with the FDRA, BFA, USFIA, Korea, Vietnam, and recently the digital exhibition first time we had with Moscow, Russia. I had several rounds of meeting with honorable ministers, 3 union ministers, 2 ministers of state, 6 times with the honorable minister of state for commerce and industry, Shri Piyush Goyalji, 1 with honorable minister of finance, corporate affairs, Nirmala Sitharamanji, and 1 with MSME Nitin Gadkariji, and 2 ministers of state, 1 with Som Prakashji and 1 with finance minister, MOS Shri Anurag Thakurji, and also with the honorable chief minister of Tamil Nadu, Thiru Pallasamy. You would have heard, and also I had a phone call meeting with the former chairman, former minister, commerce minister, Sri Suresh Prabhuji, and also had spoken to the Ministry of Skills, Mahendranath Pandeyji too. I had a direct phone call with them and briefing them about the situation and the support sought required to our industry. And we too have seen the result. The PMO office, the highest honorable Prime Minister, first time talking about the leather and footwear as the real focus sector during the annual meet of the CIA, which was recently held on a digital AGM meeting. He mentioned specifically about the leather and product industry. Today we have each our regional chairman. I wanted to really thank Shri Puran Dawarji, Javed Iqbal Saab, Ramesh Kumar Juneja, Shri Israr Ahmed, Naresh Basing, our Vice Chairman Sanjay Lekha, our Executive Director Mr. Selvam, who made huge contribution in the COVID time. Have no words to thank them. Wonderful support, wonderful contribution to your CLE to make it successful and cross the first bridge which we crossed April, May and June. And I'm sure that we'll be crossing the next bridge July, August, September, and then October, November, December, and January, February, March. These are the 4 bridges I have marked it so that we cross every 3 months successfully. And at this point, we have fantastic leaders here like Shri Raju Jalansa, former chairman, Mr. Mukhtarul Amin, Mr. Habib Hussain, who have put a lot of contribution to the CLE. See what CLE is today because of all this former chairman and Shri Mr. Rafiq Ahmed, who is, I think I could not see him here, and he has put a lot of contribution. That is why CLE is today #1 council in India now. And if it's been recognized by the Ministry of Commerce, recognized by the Government of India, recognized by various bodies of institutions to the CLE. And also I would like to thank our Executive Director, Mr. Selvam, who has been the real support to us, real support to your CLE, your people. Everything which we have come across. Recently we had some issues with the customs. Everything has been able to handle it. I know some difficulties that you have to go through, but at the end of the day, we have been able to do whatever the best we could do. See the duty drawback, you know, as the post GST, we have been fighting situation with the duty structure during the after the announcement of the duty drawback. Again, on the budget, there was an increase in the import duty, so which we have taken up with the duty drawback committee, and they have duly accepted for footwear. And also, if such anything which is required, which is any increase has been on the duty after the announcement of the drawback, I would definitely take it up for the other products too. As we have seen in the MES scheme, which was supposed to be withdrawn by this year, and ROTEC would have been introduced. But thanks to our minister, they have extended this by another 1 year. Yesterday, I have written a letter to Honorable Finance Minister stating that another 2% may kindly be reinstated, bankruptcies, and so on. But I will definitely follow it up, and I'm sure that the government may consider additional increase of MES to grow the export, provided we give all the information. The most historic decision has taken on the MSME. If you see, 50 crores investment, 250 crores turnover without considering the export, which means 99% of our industry are under the MSME, which will be enjoying many benefits. Our regional chairman North, I think, has been assigned to talk today about that. There are 3 lakh crores emergence. The 3 lakh crore has been infused into the system to help the MSME industry, and 20,000 crores of debt stressed MSME also is support. I am sure that yesterday we were rehearsing with our regional chairmen. They mentioned that 50% of this amount has been already disbursed, and this has been very successfully happening. Maybe few may not would have been entitled to it because of there are a lot of issues has to be resolved. Any small due, even if you have a due of 100 rupees by mistake in any of the bank, which means you will not be qualified for this additional loans, which means that you have to really take care of your accounts to ensure that you are eligible to receive this MSME funding at this point. IFLDP, as I mentioned earlier, also 2,600 crores. Tell me there is no other industry which has got this 2,600 crores grant. Out of this, if you see, 700 crores has been paid to the tanneries for upgrading our CETPs. Again, this has been extended till 2021. I have requested the ministry yesterday to extend by another 1 year by 2022 due to the COVID situation here. Interest equalization scheme, as you have seen, that is 5% extended, which means 98% of our industry will be getting the 5% interest equalization scheme, which almost comes to 2.5% a year, lowest in any country today, especially in a developing country like India. So we have to thank this again to our Honorable Prime Minister for supporting and hand-holding our industry. You know, our export were to the extent of only 17% during April and May when we were shut down. But in June, we achieved 65%. And I'm confident that July and August, we will do at least 85 to 90% of the last year's turnover. And I'm sure that the next would be a really challenging period, because I had a meeting with the Garda authorities there. The CEO of Bata was also present there, and he was also not very optimistic. But when I started very positive, then everybody started speaking positive on that meeting. I said that we need new energy to sell our product. You see, basically what has happened, we all have to understand that there is a surplus of materials lying in the stores in everywhere. The supply is too much and demand is less. So more and more demand to be created, and supply has to be controlled. Otherwise, it will be very, very difficult for all of us to come back to the normalcy, unless the economy picks up very fast, but we doubt this will happen. So there is going to be a correction in the industry, correction in the business, and I'm sure that we all have to adjust to the new norms, new normal. And we have been organizing various events. Last year we made 15 events, and now we are starting with digital conferences, digital sales. One we had Russia, and now we will have with other countries too. But initially, yes, the success rate will be very, very less. But at some point of a time, we have to start. But as soon as this happens, and I promised all of you that we all will be in the sky, flying to across the globe and making sure that we bring Atmanirbhar Bharat successful program, and we'll make in India, digital India, and also made in India to be very proud and to make sure that this business comes to India. As you know that a lot of political crisis, differences between each country is happening, and thanks to again our Honorable Prime Minister and his relationship with the Europe and America has been fantastic. Today, as you would have seen in the newspaper, our Honorable Minister of Commerce is working on the new FTAs, and also on the GSP. And we have also written to Honorable Minister that on the leather goods sector, which we really need GSP to reinstate for America, and also on the FTA. Since 2007, there was no FTA made with Europe, but every European Union is welcoming India, and I'm sure that we will do. WTO, we had some issues, but I'm sure in the COVID situation, WTO will not be any hindrance to us for any of the incentives that are being given today because of the current situation, what is happening. And that is why MES will continue, and that's why I've asked for additional 2%, probably at least for 1 year we could enjoy. See, ECDC is very, very important. As you know that we had the webinar with the top chairman. Also, Mr. Sendilan was there, and we were discussing about how to protect our industry. I will tell you one thing, insurance is the defense against any liabilities. I would urge every member, I would request all of you to please ensure that you cover your insurance, and security of your business is more important. Because when I hear a lot of companies whose payment have not come, or mainly because they have also not covered the insurance, and we do not ship anything over and above the insured quantity. So therefore, I would urge, and CLE will support you in this sector. And at this point, I wanted to also mention Anup Adhavanji's secretary. I could call him on the phone on Sunday and talk about our industry and Eureka, especially when we had the customs problem. He had taken my call. Every time we call, and also our joint secretary, Ms. Nidhimani Tripathi ji, Anil Agarwal ji, I have never felt so happy. I can tell you that in this 4 months, it's like a family. It's like this government, these people have really supported the Council for Leather Export. It's not me, it's for all of you, that they have been able to take our calls, address the issues. DDFT Amit Yadav ji, immediately he responds to the message. Next moment, this work is being done. So I'm very, very proud to say that our government has really helped the industry at the right time, and this has given the confidence for us to rebound our businesses, our industry, and come back to the normalcy. And I'm sure that, the setback, what we have now is this temporary. You see, the crisis comes. Every history has said there have been crises, and I'm sure that we will come back out of this crisis very soon. And this, if you have to back bounce the economy, then this will be the definition for the success of the future crisis. Unless you resolve this, no crisis will ever be there forever. The crisis will go in a matter of time. I think probably we all will forget. So I'm sure that having a confident that though the sales is going to be a big cost, big difficulties, but I'm sure that it will have a positivity very soon. In this today, I have various measures by the industry. I am just making an introduction to you, and detail will be worked out by our beloved regional chairman, starting from Mr. Puran Chand Dawarji, Shri Israr Ahmad, and Junaida ji, and Javed Iqbal Saab, Naresh Basim ji, and our future chairman, Mr. Sanjay Lekha, will be speaking how we've come out in the future, and also our executive director with his vast experience. Our executive director is not only studied here, he's from Harvard University, and he's got so much of knowledge in business management, and also not only business management, also with the government activities. And because of him, we have a wonderful relationship. And everyone who have contributed from your side, I would like to thank you for all the support that you have rendered to this committee of administration, this regional chairman, this vice chairman, and including me, the trust that you have given me. And I'm sure that we will do everything possible to support the industry in the moment of crisis. CLE will always be remain committed to the promotion of the export and the product throughout the world. India will celebrate 75 years of independence in the year 2022 to achieve 5 trillion economy. I have no doubts. We will make sure. The only thing is that we do our job, the government does their job. And we will have to work hard to make sure that we bring all our customers. Our first priority, make in India, made in India. And with this, I would all request you to thank you for listening to me. And I'm sure that the next half an hour to 1 hour will be very useful for all of you. And thank you again. Thank you for joining me. Jai Hind. Thank you. Now, may I request Shri Puran Chand Dawarji to start his presentation, please.
Thank you very much, Chairman, with your encouraging introductory remark covering all the aspects of the industry and the government. Chairman has assigned me the topic of MSME, which is much easier task. सरकार का सारा फोकस आज MSME पर है, शायद एग्रीकल्चर से भी अधिक. It is now not the hyperbola, और होना भी चाहिए. Sector contributes to 45% of our economy, provides 55% of the jobs, including the self-employment. But what not? Contribution of MSME in GDP is really alarming. It's only 8% as against the global average of the 25%. Here we lack, and we need to work hard to justify the focus on this sector. MSME is always in focus, the world over, from both perspectives, economy as well as the social point of view. अर्थव्यवस्था की दृष्टि से हो या सामाजिक दृष्टि से, क्योंकि इसी सेक्टर से छोटे से छोटे जॉब आते हैं और लोग अपने पैरों पर खड़े होते हैं. This is only the sector which can make the country self-reliant and आत्मनिर्भर भारत. यही सेक्टर बना सकता है. प्रधानमंत्री के वोकल और लोकल के लिए वोकल का नारा भी को भी यही सेक्टर सार्थक कर सकता है. Leather sector used to be the 80% in an MSME, but with the new definition, it covers 98 to 99% in MSME, particularly in the leather sector. The exports, 100% export sector will be covered. I feel MSME sector under the leadership of the Prime Minister Modi and the most able minister Nitin Gadkari, who very well understand the business and business issues, not only met our expectations, but exceeded our expectations. Long-awaited definition of MSME, Chairman has already told the new definition provides MSME benefits to almost 100% of our sector, especially the exporters. This was necessary if you want to take the country to the 5 trillion, need to lift the scale. Our dream came true. Capital cost was the main constraint, and now it's as low as 2 to 2.5% in rupee term with the help of the 5% interest subvention to the MSME. अब कोई कारण ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि हम अब स्केल अप न कर पाए. Allocation of 3 lakh crores will surely ease the funding. 10,000 crore for the district funds, really it will be helpful. 50,000 crores of the venture capital in this sector are key supports, and other than the many support schemes like key schemes of SME division, international cooperation, assistance to the training institutions, marketing assistance. There are a lot of schemes from the DC, MSME also, the credit guarantee, credit linked capital subsidy for technology upgradation, ISO 9000 and ISO 14000 certification reimbursement, micro and small enterprises cluster development program, microfinance program, MSME market development assistance, national awards for individuals, MSMEs, national manufacturing competitiveness program, marketing support assistance to MSMEs, entrepreneurial and managerial development of SMEs through incubators, enabling the manufacturing sector to the competitiveness through quality management and quality time together, QMS and QTT, building awareness on intellectual property rights, lean manufacturing competitiveness for SMEs, design clinics and design expertise to MSMEs, marketing assistance and technology upgradation, technology and quality upgradation. These are so many schemes the government has given us. The ball is now in our court. There is a test subvention, there is a MEIS, there is a IDLS, there is a duty drawback enhancement. But how long we will keep our limit of share only up to 3%? Last 2 decades, we are limiting ourselves up to 3% only. We have to increase our share. Huge potential, 97% is still in our plate. I remember I'm using the same term since 2007. We are not able to increase our share. This is a time with all those support, even in spite of this COVID. The future is great, and particularly this our sector industry has a lot to do in the sector. Thank you so much.
Regional Chairman South.
The situation, as we know, in the South, I'll just give you a brief of what's happening. The sector, one of our biggest sectors is the finished leather sector that is in the South, which is suffering quite badly from what we know from the inflows of water that we are seeing in the CETPs. We realize that it's only about 50% capacity is what we are running at. I know that the chairman himself is also following it up. We are all very eagerly waiting for the new norms to come in, which will help us with a little bit more marketing and would be able to sell more. On the uppers, I would say that we are least affected on the uppers, export of uppers, where we are probably at about anywhere from 80 to 90% capacity. Most of the factories are running quite well because most of those are being shipped to Europe and for the European exports. They are making it in Europe and selling it in Europe. So there we have seen the least amount of cancellations as well. And the two sectors that are badly hit, I would say, are both pertaining to more to luxury, as in leather goods and garments. We do see a huge impact in both the sectors. And the last one is the full shoe business. We have seen a mixed bag in the South, with the children's footwear being almost not affected by the lockdowns. Almost 90%. Kids, I guess, still grow and continue to grow and still need shoes. So their demand has still been pretty good. But on the others, on the others for the men's and the women's and stuff, we have seen a drop of almost 50%, I would say. There are now factories are running. But the key question is actually, that's in everybody's mind, I'm sure also in the rest of the country as well. What is the situation going to be moving forward? I mean, how do we look at the order situation? As we all know, we are going to head into the summer season in footwear, in most of the product categories as well. You know, and with all this material that we have shipped out that are lying unsold due to the lockdowns, this is a major concern that we all have. We are worried about bankruptcies of customers, and you know how their issues can be. How can we ship to them at this difficult time? And also the other thing, the most worrying thing, I think, is the local conditions of how the COVID is spreading out in India. As we all know, every day is a new high. And how do we run our factories in a profitable way, without endangering our employees, ourselves? And these are all the important questions that we all have. But I'd like to say, this is obviously unexpected, but the number of initiatives that the chairman and the CLE and all the other organizations that have worked with the government is what I'm going to talk about. You will see that a lot has been done. Yesterday, as the chairman said, we had a meeting yesterday and we were talking about the government has done quite a bit. I mean, we could not imagine a 2.5% interest rate. You know, we've got the MEIS, we've got with more drawback as well in certain segments. So we've got quite a bit. So let me just run you through let's go back to the first slide. Sorry. Yeah. So the first one we have is the foreign trade policy, which has already been extended to the 31st of March 2020. A big boost, and I'm sure most of you will agree that MEIS has been quite a important part of our business, and we were all quite worried that it may not be continued, but luckily due to the lobbying that was done by our chairman, it has been extended. And we were worried that ROTTEP would be asked to take over, but they have put a weight on that as well. And as soon as that is ready, that will come in. But in the meantime, as a bridge, the MAIS has been asked to continue. So that has been a big break for all of us. On the income tax front, we've seen quite a lot of extensions, reduction in interest payments as well from the finance minister. One of the big things I would say is the ECG, the emergency credit line that has been given to the MSME sector, which has been quite a big help also. So that also came from the finance minister. So that's why I'm saying it. And from the Reserve Bank of India as well, this was quite a big problem that we all had, as in we all had an issue of payments being delayed, and us, if obviously if those payments don't come in on time, then NPA and SMA and all those things start coming in. So that was given, relief was given to the exporters as well for realization of export proceeds. It was made 15 months instead of 9, maximum permissible period for packing credit was also increased from 12 to 15. interest equalization, as you know, there was actually had to get a cabinet approval, but then we got that also in. So that was also a good thing. So we've had quite a big, small reliefs given by the government regularly. And this is a very important part of this, this thing. And on the ECGC, which our chairman had said earlier, that it is extremely, extremely important to make sure that we have ECGC coverages done for our exports. And what we can see is that also they have had some relaxation. Unfortunately, ECGC also, I would say, as an exporter, it's not so easy today to deal with them. This is something that I don't know if you are also seeing the same, but we are all seeing that the limits are not coming in as easily. They are also being very careful with all the bad press that is coming in for a lot of the clients. We are unfortunately facing some problems with ECGC, but again, the webinar that was there, that was held by CLE, was very, very helpful. Oops. Measures on EPF and other government measures. This was a big help, obviously. Where the EPF was given for the smaller manufacturers, 100 employees who draw 90% of them should draw 15,000 rupees. EPF benefit was given of 24%. I think the government, we as in CLE have been pushing very hard to see if we can increase the number of employees because our sector was not benefited as much with this because we are a labor-intensive sector. Chairman had himself asked in one of the meetings with Nitin Gadkari ji as well to see how they can improve and increase the number of people here. We haven't heard anything, but we definitely hope to hear something moving forward. Another small benefit was the reduction of 10% for the bigger companies from 12 to 10. And then the validity of CLE duty-free import scheme and the RCMC for 2019-20. It was extended till September 30th. ESI contribution for February 20 and March 20 were also extended so that people would have a little bit more liquidity in their hands. On corporate affairs, quite a few extensions were given. Some of the big helps were of cargo waiver from CFS. I know that some of the exporters have had issues with it. We've been working with all the regions, have been working to try and see if we can get those waivers given to the exporters. Unfortunately, not everybody has got it from the CFSs. And also the 50% waiver of air cargo for import demurrages was also given. So that was also a big help for all of us. So customs has been great. We really like to thank the customs authorities for helping us. I know that we've all had issues with it. And they have been one of the best in moving towards digital, also towards the electronic system as well. So we would like to, we really have been very helpful. Basically, with all the tough things that we do have, but you can see that the government has been doing quite a bit, and I agree that we still need all the help that can be given to us, especially with all the uncertainties that we have with regards to our businesses as well. But I would like to, again say the CLE has been working day and night to make sure that that issues are represented and taken up with the central ministers, the state ministries as well. We've been in touch with all the regional, state secretaries, industry secretaries. All of them have been very helpful. Our chairman himself has gone and spoken to quite a lot of the collectors to help with the issues of lockdowns and stuff. So we are always available. For any issues that you have, please feel free to contact us. And I'm sure this is, like he said, we've only crossed one bridge. We still have quite a few bridges to cross. So we'll always be there and we'll be most happy to help. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sir. Thank you, Dawar Saab, for wonderful presentation. I'm really happy that, this information which you have given will be very useful. Now, may I request Ramesh Kumar Juneja ji, Regional Chairman East, to make a presentation, please.
Good evening. Today, whole world is suffering from pandemic COVID-19. We have spent most of our time during lockdown since the 23rd March. Economy is suffering. It's a first economic world war. The whole world economy is really in a very, very bad shape. Our region is also, the eastern region is also suffering very badly. Now the tannery sector, which is selling only the affluent water we receive every day, is almost from 30% to 40%, average 35% tannery's capacity is running. It's since 2005, we had never had this kind of condition in our treatment plant since the time we have started the new complex. And the leather goods sector is running almost at the 40%, 50%, I will say 50%, 40 to 50%. Industrial gloves is doing very well. Same like last year. We don't have any problem. There's a bit shortage of workers over there. But that sector, we have also orders in the future also. In leather goods sector, like what we see beyond September, orders are very less. It's in a not good condition, We have to do something for that. Now, we can see that we have to work on how we can increase our export performance. If we look at the figure from the last, we can see this slide, from the last 5 years, it was before COVID also, it's going down, down, down. But our Prime Minister had kept up the target to increase, we had to take this target up to $27 billion. But what we are seeing, it's going down, down, and after COVID is worst. You can see the export performance in value in all the sectors. You can see over here where leather footwear, leather goods, here the maximum we are seeing is, in the leather footwear sectors. And the leather garments was really where leather garment and the footwear components were the less. This is the major our leather and footwear sectors exposed to different destinations. EU share is almost 53%, and we have to see how we have to increase the where we are doing less exports, how we can increase our share. We have to work on that. Finished leather is suffering, really very badly because of the norms. We have been requesting to the council, from last 4 years regarding this finished leather norm should be changed. These norms are from last 10 years. If we give our leather to the CLRI for testing, there's only one lab which had been nominated by the customs or the government or Ministry of this foreign trade. They want, what those old time Russian softy, old dopey leather. Without that, they say it is not a finished leather. So that trend has changed. If we don't revise our norms, if we look out our friends, next door, Bangladesh, they have started the export of raw hides. They have started the export of this wet blue. And we are still lying with the finished leather norms from last 10 years same. So how will we increase? In our sector, can you believe, in this last month, we had the export of finished leather, 70,000 square feet from Calcutta. The tannery sector is, bleeding. We must really think over it, since we can import raw hides duty from all over the world. And why can't we should be even be allowed to do the export of crust, finished leather? Then only we can give employment to the workers and we can reach our targets that can help the other industries, ancillary industries also. We must think over it nicely. Leather goods sector. I will request Chairman, he's also trying very much, for the US, for the revival of the GSP, which is very important, that will help us to boost our exports there. And this is the time, in leather goods, we need to have small clusters. We are facing problem for the workers at the moment. The workers, in district wise, we should have small clusters of leather goods and leather footwear. With that, we can go. Now we have to go to the workers' door, to get the workers' working cost and the labor cost is increasing. That is the way, we can cut down our labor cost and we can increase our efficiency of the work in that way. The second problem we are facing is, metal accessories. Like the problem in China, the relationship with our country and China are not good. And we are getting big problems even during COVID time also, it was under lockdown, it was difficult to get all the metal accessories. Unless and until we don't think over the metal accessories, we should have our own units in India. The government should provide some benefits in a big way to all the metal accessories units, whether we go for a joint venture with the Italians or Chinese, rather in Europeans or with the Taiwanese, this is a must, need of the hour. Without that, we cannot increase our exports. Then we have to go for the product engineering. And under this, we have to see the time and study, which can increase our efficiency. All these things we have to work out on this. And we need some training for the workers. We need some institutes district wise. There should be a course of 1 year at least. Knows this skill development program, which is only for 3 months. And we nobody wants to go and learn only for 3 months, and the workers also cannot be educated in 3 months, as you all know. It should be at least 1 year's training. These things can help our exports from, and we can grow the industry. Industry can go in this way. Footwear. My old friends are here. Mr. Star, he's already spoken about the leather footwear. Leather garment sector is bleeding in our eastern zone, and Delhi and Chennai, the exports are going down. We have to work on that. Regarding footwear components, we should work on the technology upgradation and the joint ventures. And non-leather footwear also, we should focus on the sports, shoes, and athleisure. These are the top 15 markets India's share we have. We can go through all of this. Now we have a lot of opportunities since the shifting is, from China. No, the world does not want to buy from the China at the moment, but still we are not seeing the results properly. Still we have not been able to attract the Chinese customers. We have to work on that. Find out the way how we can bring one to India. I mean, all the overseas customers, those who are buying from China, we have to get some business from China. That will improve, our exports. And India, and we need a preferred, reliable sourcing partners also. And we have to go for the product diversification, investments, quicker delivery schedules, and infrastructure improvement, which will promote our image.
If you want to talk about the eastern region, you can have any other points to address to your people, your region, or anything you can mention.
Yes, eastern region, we need one good office over here. You have to work on that. Our office space is very small over there. We have already requested you in the past also for that, which is very important for us. And we need some designers from the eastern region, you should get some designers from Italy. The council should arrange for those designers. We can focus on the latest designs, how we can, that they can help us, and we need some market experts. If we look at the aviation, if we look at the hospitality industry, if we look at the entertainment industry in Bollywood, everything is bleeding, people are losing jobs. If we go outside, except, e-commerce, some of this food supply chains and the medicine, other industries are in a very bad shape. We should do better. We try to do better with the help of the country, with the positive, our dynamic, under the leadership of our dynamic chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Dinesh. Now may I request Naresh Basil Saab to say.
On behalf of Western Region, a very good evening to all my friends. Special thanks to our never-tiring chairman for arranging this webinar and giving us the opportunity to share our thoughts. Nice to see my regional chairman, vice chairman, executive director, and more than 150 participants. A short description of what's happening in Western Region. Western Region predominantly produces summer production. We were at the fag end of supplies when we closed down in March, and the customers had just started selling their summer products. So our orders were either cancelled or postponed, and hopefully the customers sell what they have in stock. So this is in short what Western Region is about. Friends, we all know that we are amidst a COVID battered economy. The global landscape is reset. It's not normal. By reset, I mean it's not normal across all industries. Choice is to be optimistic or pessimistic. My suggestion and my advice is that let us be cautiously optimistic. Let us choose to be cautiously optimistic. As our chairman said, these are temporary crises, and all achievements or personalities are born in the valley of struggle. This is a short-lived struggle time, but when we look back after a few years, we will realize what we have achieved. I recently heard beautiful 2 lines from a very accomplished businessman, and he said, बहुत दुख है, बहुत गम है, बहुत दुख है, बहुत गम है, मगर हम जिंदा हैं, ये क्या किसी से कम है. So let us rejoice these moments that we are able to face and rework out of this situation. And according to what Samsung says, crisis means innovation. So let us listen and read and adopt these best practices that the world is addressing to. My presentation is in two parts. First part is the conventional marketing initiatives of CLE. This is important to go through to refresh the knowledge of members. The second part is called Mission Reset. I have taken the liberty to share some of the initiatives that my company and myself have taken. And in this Mission Reset, I term it as predictive intelligence. This is based on interactions, studies, feedbacks from customers, consumers, and print media. Friends, I'm sure this data analysis will give us directional marketing initiatives, as it is very important to think out of the box. As discussed with Chairman, CLE is willing to provide infrastructure to meet the challenges. These insights and predictive intelligence data is the new currency and wealth, which you will agree with me. Gokul, can we start with yeah. So this is the first slide, what we are doing, 19 overseas fairs, designers fairs. So these are all for your ready reference. When we share the PPT with you, you can go through these fairs. I think the magic has been moved online. Expo River Shoes has been shifted to December, yeah. The council will keep on updating you as and when there are changes. Next, please. We've already gone through the Russia one last week. As we mature, as we go into more, I think there will be success. I'm now moving on to part 2, which I call, there are 3 parts in this. I call number 1 part as assessment of what's going on in the world. Part 2 is the impact of that assessment. And part 3 is what we need to take action on, or the initiatives. And as I discussed with the chairman, I think we can help the industry, or CLE can help the industry in taking services of professionals to help each factory on an individual basis to overcome these, because I think individually it may cost a lot of money, but if CLE gets these professionals, I have done it for my company, and the results have started showing immense. So I call this Mission Reset. So there are 3 parts: assessment, impact, and initiatives. And they call predictive intelligence. If you are able to predict what is going to happen out of the current scenario. So the assessment, my friends, I'll just go through quickly. It's a black swan event which will significantly dampen economic growth. Global trade and policies will determine India. So I mean, what I mean by domestic policies is that in Maharashtra we are still not open 100%. So it depends from state to state. Landscape can be viewed with optimism, which I said we should choose to be cautiously optimistic. Brands have a pressure to diversify sourcing from China. I am happy to tell you that there are inquiries. There is a strong undercurrent from China, and there are inquiries. And in this, I would like to share with Chairman, which I didn't talk to, that the time has come to share our synergies. If I am good in men's, let's say, and if my customer is asking me to provide his out of India, I think we should combine our strategies. I should talk to my fellow chairman and vice versa with other exporters, and let him not go to any other country for want of a category. Yeah, we are likely to see a slowdown for next to 6 to 9 months, and an average 20 to 32% fall in market size. And several demand side disruptions which will have both short term and long term implications. So this is my short study on assessment. Let's move to the impact. Shoes and apparel sales have been impacted by shutdown of brick and mortar, as in the consumer demand. Majority of the brands are in administration, so I've named a few of them. The impact of trade wars, trade disputes, impact rate, threat of Section 301. What I want members is to go through this, and on each there could be a very elaborate, but I've just put bullet points. Please think of these, because if we come across a second wave, or any one of them can impact our business. So we need to go through each one of them very carefully. On consumers, there is a discretionary spend and / disposable income. These will not be new, you may be aware of these. social distancing, sunset of legacy long lead planning models. Very important. Customers are telling us they will not be able to give you long lead planning plans. Brands need to protect their turf, likely to adopt aggressive pricing and discounts. So please handhold with them. If they want to come down to a $10 less price, I think that needs to take a call. Greater preference for trust-oriented brands versus rebel new age. So stick to the old, old is gold. That is what the consumers are saying. High focus on durable products. Companies go into survival mode. Margin pressures and liquidity crunch to pose business opportunities risk for MSMEs. Supplies delayed due to material movement restrictions, liquidity crunch, and labor shortage. Value and premium brands will downgrade to mass segments. This is very worrisome. If the medium brands which are retailing at $80 to $100 are now going to go at $50 or $60, we need to reprice or recost our presentations. Management assistance is cost analysis aligned to lean and agile business. It's easy to say, but I think we need to start working on every bullet point, and you may need a professional assistance or a professional support on this. Second is overheads. As chairman said, keep on working on overheads because your reduction of overheads will be a permanent effect. While your current orders may be temporary, they may bounce back in the second or the third year. Work on liquidity, bank finances, statutory claims. You'll be surprised if you go through your statutory claims and see what is pending to be received. You will find a lot of hidden treasures. Manage supply chain, because the transport, rail or train or a truck, so you have to supply. It's now more lead times. Insurance and factoring, everybody has said that. Work on audits and compliance. Please share these with your customers. They want to know how you are addressing and all this is related to marketing. Marketing is, the new mantra of marketing is being able to predict. But it has got all these components of management, technical, and then we'll come to two more. Begin to prepare for the next phase of crisis. I'm not scaring you. SWOT analysis of your own firm. What are your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat? So what I'm saying is that there's a lot to do within your organization while you have time. Don't think this is a free time. If you can look in and address these will all lead to a better marketing. Consider growth through mergers and acquisitions. Technical assistance, strengthen your digital core. Come out with virtual showroom. Customers are not going to travel. I had one of the biggest customers from US. He said, we are not going to travel for 12 months. I thought they will not travel till December, but they said next 12 months we are not coming to India. Create virtual digital showroom, SATRA membership. They are going to teach you right from the operations to management, a lot of things. Productivity, industrial engineers, automation, and adopt Industry 4.0. And said, be positive, but test negative and survive, perform, and win. This is the research and development innovation. Gokul can't see the top lines. What is happening, where to focus. So you need to see how you're going to navigate your company. Focus on research and development and product innovation. Understand future of fashion, what trends will emerge. CLRA can help you. Develop sustainability culture. Customers are willing to look more at sustainability than your own. I can tell you, we are today, with our green soul, we are more in demand than Ram. So sustainability is a very important part of your company. That is a part of marketing. Skill development, huge. Designers way to the next level of factory collection. I think I'm going to talk with the now designer in charge, Ruby Seigel, to do this. Marketing, speed to market. Please work on shorter lead times. This may be very theoretical, and I've taken the liberty to share this. Please do not think that I'm lecturing but go through each bullet point. You may be already doing this, but this is a humble submission. Shorten lead times, image building of India, along with buyer relationship. Create marketing think tank along with all categories. Plug and play along with cluster developments. I think the government is already doing this. CLE to create member profile. I think this CLE can talk a lot of positive things about India. So be a responsible manufacturer that I've written in marketing and stay responsive to daily changes you face. Anyway, if he's noting it, that was just from a quote from Sadhguru, that be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. So that was very good. And finally, friends, finally what I learned is that there are two choices we have in life: accept conditions as they are, or accept responsibilities to change them. Yeah, so this was the one I was saying. This is one commitment everyone must make: always be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. And finally, friends, as I said, we have two primary choices in life: accept conditions as they are, or accept responsibilities to change them. And like somebody, elders in the family said, "Hosla or Ghosla mat chhodiye." Hosla or Ghosla means your home. Hosla और घोसला मत छोड़िए, सब ठीक हो जाएगा. Thank you for listening to me. Again, excuse me if I have overspoken or taken liberty to share a lot of theoretical. But if anybody wants to discuss with me on each bullet point, I have an annexure to that. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Mr. Naresh, thank you so much for your presentation and inspiration, and also you have given a lot of management side information how we come out of the COVID. And now going forward, I would request now Mr. Javed Iqbal Saab, the Regional Chairman, Central Region, to make his presentation.
गुड इवनिंग चेयरमैन साहब, वाइस चेयरमैन साहब, ईडी साहब, सारे रीजनल चेयरमैन साहब, अमीन साहब, जलान साहब, हबीब साहब, जो भी सारे हमारे दोस्त हैं, सारे रीजनल चेयरमैन, सबको नमस्कार, सलाम. ये कोविड तो सबके लिए है और इसमें सबसे पहले भारत का निर्माण के लिए एक बहुत अच्छा मापदंड है. आईएमपी के सर्वे के अनुसार क्रय शक्ति के संदर्भ में जीटी हमारा 3% पे है. भारत की एफडीआई कॉन्फ्रेंस इंडेक्स 16वें स्थान पर रहा है. शीर्ष उद्योगों की स्थायी इकाई की स्थापना के लिए इंडिया में बहुत सी जगह मौजूद है और हमारा जीडीपी जो है 2019 में 4.2% था. मेक इन इंडिया 2019 में 2600 करोड़ रुपया हमारा आईएलडीपी में था, जिसमें 690 से 700 करोड़ रुपया ऑलरेडी डिस्पर्स हो चुका है. डिजिटल इंडिया लेन देन को बढ़ावा दिया गया है. मुद्रा लोन एक प्रधानमंत्री की एक स्कीम है. मुद्रा लोन जो है माननीय प्रधानमंत्री द्वारा घोषित की गई है. इसके अंतर्गत 10 लाख तक के लोन नॉन कॉर्पोरेट नॉन कॉन्फर्मेंट छोटे माइक्रो उद्योग को उपलब्ध है. स्टार्टअप इंडिया का रजिस्ट्रेशन किया जा सकता है. लेबर लॉ में स्टार्टअप कंपनी में काफी सहूलियतें प्रदान की गई हैं, जैसे कि 3 वर्ष तक स्टार्टअप कंपनी में किसी तरह का निरीक्षण नहीं किया जाएगा. अन्य नियमों और सेवा अधिनियम 1996, ग्रेच्युटी अधिनियम 1972 का, कर्मचारी भविष्य निधि 1952, अंतर्राज्यीय प्रवासी कारागार नियमों की सेवा शर्त, अनुबंध लेबर. एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, भारत एक बढ़ता हुआ बाजार है, तो अगर हम लोग फोकस करें लोकल इंडस्ट्री पे, तो यहाँ पे 130 करोड़ की पॉपुलेशन है और काफी कुछ हम लोग एक्सपोर्ट के साथ डोमेस्टिक में भी कर सकते हैं. भारतीय घरेलू फुटवेयर इंडस्ट्री का टर्नओवर 9 बिलियन एवं लेदर गुड्स का 3 बिलियन है. भारत में करीब 2.5 बिलियन स्क्वायर फीट चमड़ा प्रोडक्शन होता है. घरेलू उद्योग में 12 मिलियन स्क्वायर फीट चमड़ा बनता है. घरेलू उद्योग में 12 बिलियन एवं एक्सपोर्ट में 5 बिलियन द्वारा घरेलू बाजार में चमड़ा बेचने की काफी गुंजाइश है. खुदरा बाजार में भारत का 5वां स्थान है. भारतीय खुदरा बाजार करीब 950 बिलियन का है, जो जीडीपी का 10% और रोजगार का 8% है. भारत सबसे तेजी से बढ़ता हुआ कॉमर्स बाजार है. फुटवेयर एवं चर्म निर्मित अन्य वस्तुओं को ऑनलाइन बिक्री. भारतीय खुदरा बाजार 50 बिलियन का है, जो जीडीपी का 10वां. घरेलू निर्माताओं के लिए सरकार द्वारा सहयोग, कम जीएसटी पर कच्चे माल का माल आयात में ड्यूटी, मुफ्त ड्यूटी, कम दर पर कॉर्पोरेट दर पर एफडीआई में सरकार का सहयोग, कुछ शर्तों में 100% लाभ और लाभांश वापस ले सकते हैं। फुटवेयर सेक्टर की अपार संभावना है। भारत फुटवेयर का 2 बड़ा निर्माता है। वर्ष 2018 के दौरान फुटवेयर का वार्षिक उत्पादन करीब 2580 मिलियन जोड़ी और USD 9 बिलियन की कीमत दर्ज हुई है। भारत में निर्मित फुटवेयर 90% खपत घरेलू बाजार में होता है। भारत में 2606 मिलियन जोड़ों की खपत के साथ भारत फुटवेयर का दूसरा बड़ा उपभोक्ता है। अगले 5 सालों में फुटवेयर के प्रति व्यक्ति उपयोग दर 203 जोड़ी होने की उम्मीद है। घरेलू बाजार में फुटवेयर बिक्री की संभावना बहुत प्रबल है। चर्म निर्मित फुटवेयर के अलावा हमें घरेलू, कैजुअल और फुटवेयर में ध्यान देने की जरूरत है, जिससे के लिए अपार संभावनाएं दिखती हैं। पीयू यूनिट अभी भारत में पीयू बनाने की सुविधाएं उपलब्ध नहीं है। बहुत सारे पीयू फुटवेयर एवं गारमेंट के अग्रसर हो रहे हैं। भविष्य में पीयू यूनिट की संभावना के लिए भारत का काफी स्कोप दिखता है। बहुत सी भारतीय कंपनी स्केलिंग अप की ओर देख रही है। ग्रीनफील्ड और ब्राउनफील्ड योजनाओं की अपार संभावनाएं दिखती हैं। और लोकल में कोल्हापुरी चप्पल हो गई, शांति निकेतन, बक्स इत्यादि का बड़ा बाजार उपलब्ध है। गुणवत्ता विहीन संयुक्त इन उपकरणों का मानकीकरण सेगमेंट पाई आला बाजार तैयार कर सकते हैं।
I have another 3 important speaker today after Mr. Sanjay Lekha sahab. And Sanjay ji, Vice Chairman sahab, आप बताइए, now you can speak about how we come out of the COVID situation and future prospects, and then we'll go to 3 very important person who will be talking in this evening.
Thank you, Chairman sahab. First of all, good evening to all my industry friends. I would first of all, of course, want to thank our chairman and all the regional chairmen for the presentations that they have made and for the valuable insight that we have received on the current status of the industry and to some extent the way forward. We are all part of a very strong industry that has weathered many challenges like the environmental issues faced by the tanneries in the 1990s, the global recession of 2009-10, and also the constantly changing fashion and retail needs of our buyers over the years. Despite all these challenges, our exports have grown quite consistently over the last 3 decades. However, the challenges posed by COVID-19 pandemic are unprecedented, both in terms of the nature and in terms of the scale and impact that they have had. The export losses and adverse impact on supply chain are huge, but these should not deter us from looking forward and from looking at the emerging opportunities that will be there at the end of the tunnel. I mean, there is a bright light always at the end of the tunnel. I think our efforts need to go on, and it is these efforts which will give us the experience that we need to be able to face the future. Despite the global market slowdowns, all surveys show that there has been an increase in online sales in all our major markets. This is a proof of the huge demand in online that this online channel can provide for the leather products and the footwear industry. We recently had a webinar with Amazon wherein opportunities for both B2B and B2C were highlighted. I think going forward, we also have to look at diversifying our product range. To that end, I would say that the trade war and the pandemic has led to buyers looking for alternate sourcing options. It is here that India can score high. CLE has been consistently promoting the country brand image through its marketing initiatives. We have a very strong leather base, accounting for almost 14% of global leather production, and good institutional framework. We have huge skilled manpower, and we have a reasonably good price competitiveness. We need to fine-tune our design capabilities and ensure that our productions are able to handle a quick delivery turnaround in the short term, because this is what the buyers require today. In the long term, we need to look at product diversification, as I mentioned earlier, by not only looking at niche products within the leather sector, but also by looking at combinations of leather and textile, leather and synthetics. If we do this, this can obviously help us in increasing our market share. Today, we need cooperation with overseas trade associations. Europe and US are our major markets, accounting for almost 70% of our exports. Also, these markets account for 60% of global import of leather products and footwear. Our market share in the US is only 2.6%, and in the European Union, only about 3.6%. Hence, CLE, under the direct leadership of our chairman, has initiated efforts for continuous engagement with the European Union and the US markets through tie-ups with major industry associations, including the FDRA, the USFIA, the British Footwear Association. We also have been requesting the government for entering into free trade agreements with the European Union, the US, and the UK. If these FTAs are finalized, they will provide us a larger market access and will also make us substantially more cost-effective for those markets. This is something that the chairman also mentioned, and I think the ongoing efforts will hopefully bear fruit sooner rather than later. Another aspect that I would like to touch on is that the era of virtual exhibitions has now begun. As highlighted in the presentations made today, the CLE has just had a virtual exhibition with Russia and will soon be having other virtual exhibitions with Peru and other emerging markets. We have also had B2B meetings recently with Korea and Vietnam. Today, there is also a need for us to enter into joint ventures with overseas manufacturers. Major companies are looking to shift their production to India, and recently we heard about the shift of a German shoe company shifting their base to India. The shifting of production bases offers opportunities for joint ventures and technical collaborations. Our increasing tie-ups with overseas trade associations will open up such possibilities for all of us. The global retail environment is likely to take many months to improve. This means that we as manufacturers will continue to face challenges of reduced orders, deferred shipments, delayed payments from our customers during this period. I, as your Vice Chairman, would request all my industry friends to use this time to strengthen ourselves to face the challenges and also to ready ourselves for the opportunities that will be presented to us post this period. Let us see where we are weak and use this period to strengthen those areas. My suggestions would be to look at our internal strengths and weaknesses and to improve the same. All areas, marketing, production, and systems need to be worked on. Just to name a few, productivity in our industry can be improved, and this should become a key focus area. Our production facilities should be upgraded and modernized. invest in design and development for the future, create a strong supply chain by partnering with our commitment, with our component and raw material suppliers. Ensure that we meet all social and technical compliance requirements. These compliances are now a prerequisite to our survival and growth. Strong marketing efforts at individual levels, along with the collective industry marketing that the CLE undertakes, are extremely important at this challenging time. As our share in the global import of leather products, and footwear is only 2.85%, there is definitely a huge opportunity for us to significantly increase the share. No doubt there is a short-term decline in exports, but in the long term, we have good opportunities, both in the traditional markets of Europe and the US, and also in potential markets like Russia, Japan, Korea, Australia, Canada, and many of the emerging markets. The CLE will continuously undertake its marketing campaigns and will also continue to provide all assistance to the industry through representation of industry issues to the government. So, as Regional Chairman South also mentioned, we at CLE are here to support you in whatever your requirements are, and we will do all that is possible to help you out at this time. Let us all work together to achieve higher exports and growth for our industry. Thank you to all my friends and with the best wishes to all the members. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Saab, and thank you for giving them the confidence and also making an assurance that CLE is with everyone to support, especially in times of COVID. Now, may I request, very important former chairman, and who's a very successful businessman, and also he has been running the councils very successfully. So I'll start with Mr. Habib Hussain and ABT and Alina Exports. Mr. Habib sir, can you say something? And
thank you very much.
And with your vast experience and your successful story, we would like to know how we come out of this crisis and how do we take advantage of the situation in coming months and years. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chairman. Before I say anything, I just want to say what a joy it is to see my old guru, Harbans Malik, in the audience. My adabs to you, Malik Saab. It's such a joy. It reminds me of good times, and looking at you, good times will come again, inshallah. Okay, see, I think the government has done a lot, and for the government to do a lot, our chairman, his team of regional chairman and the ED and the whole CLE team have done an immense amount. I've never seen such proactiveness from the government that we've seen in these past few months. It's really been a joy. Normally, a past chairman like me would say, in my time this was better, my time that was better. Now, hands down, I think Akhil and team have done a wonderful job. Now, having said that, what do I see happening? I don't want to sugarcoat anything, but I don't want to be negative either. I think there is, first of all, there is a great future. After, I think we're going to have a bad next season, because whether it's footwear and because of footwear leather, and I think October onwards till February or so, it's going to be lean months for all of us. We have to dig deep into our pockets. We have to prepare ourselves for the new world that is going to come. And that new world it's not even possible to define today. But what would you do? Akhil started it by saying overheads. Israr said a few things. Naresh said a lot of things. Sanjay said something. But you see, the main thing is you have to unlearn everything that you know. The traditional business does not exist anymore. It does. You have to unlearn, and you have to learn on the go. Now, what do I mean by that? Look at the retail trade, and it's not only because of in the footwear trade or in the leather trade. Sanjay said that the online sales has increased. Now, brick and mortar malls, we may see a dramatic change there. They are collapsing already, and they may not exist in a big way going forward. We don't know yet, but there could be a comeback of the neighborhood stores. We don't know, because at some point you'd like to go and see what you're buying and pick what you like. You see, they run with very low overhead, so we don't know that. Now, maybe there is an opportunity for us there. But having said that, the structure of the organization is going to be thinkers at the top, creative people, and then the people who make the goods. I think this middle level has got to be completely automated. You can't afford to have that, and that is where we are going to see a lot of trouble with jobs and how to settle people and things like that. There's going to be a lot of hardship. There's going to be a lot of pain there. But I don't think this is all pandemic related. The world was set up for this. There was too much of waste. There was too much of fat. We saw this retail things coming in any case. What it has done is what should have happened in a few seasons or a few years has happened in a matter of 3 months. That is what has happened. So we have to tighten our belts. I would like to define, I'm 67 years old, so I'm trying to tell my organization, the people, my team, look for a situation where 2 years from now, all your government incentives are going to be zero. That's and see if you can be profitable in that, and then invest going forward with that kind of a thing in mind. Nobody is going to just go on paying us something for not polluting, for incentive for marketing, help for marketing. At some point, I have been on the board of CII in the past for 6 years. The domestic industry never had any such incentives. They used to always say, when are we going to stop hand holding? So this could come. It will not come now, but prepare yourself now. This October, I mean, most of us have got orders up to October or something like that. When you prepare yourself for the future. Prepare yourself means lean. Prepare yourself, turnaround times, as Naresh mentioned. You should be targeting for turnaround times on a footwear thing from less than 60 days, maybe even 30 days. Is that possible? Is that doable? All I'm trying to say is you can't run organizations on the basis of what your managers or your supervisors say, that this is what I can do in a shift. This is what I can do. This is number of pairs per employee I do. It can't be done on that basis. It has to be driven from the other way around in a scientific basis. Everything has to be done based on scientific basis. Our inventories are bloated. We need to get rid of them quickly. Our work in progress is too slow. We have too much of goods out on the floor. All these things will become lean just in time. You may want to target a factory 3 years from now or 2 years from now, because we've defined as the biggest market as the online market. Is there a possibility for a brand to give you small orders and where you warehouse and sell, ship to their customers direct? So you're talking of a B2C model from our factories, from the B2B model that we have. The existing system of buyers and all those things, with handing out orders, I don't see that continuing. So there's going to be a dramatic change. The organization which gears itself this will change. I would suggest that we read things, talk to other industries, talk to management experts, not keep talking amongst ourselves. And I think this is the time to unlearn the past and to learn what it takes to be in the new world. I think there is going to be a new world, and that new world is not just, it is going to evolve by the day. You see other industries, they are planning all these things like that. But I think I've taken enough time. I could go on for this topic because I've been lecturing in the office a lot. So thank you all very much. And once again, my chairman, congratulations to you and your team. And Malik Saab, we must get together for one evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Malik Saab. And I also am surprising you, our founder, chairman, and also the most senior person, Mr. Hashim Saab, is also online, but he's not covered by video, I suppose. First of all, very thank you, Hashim Saab, for being here. I just wanted, since you are listening, I wanted to say one word. There is a powerful driving force inside every human being that once unleashed can make any vision, dream, or desire a reality. And for you, Hashim Saab, you are never too old to set another goal or a dream or a new dream. I know that you are at home, but you are dreaming a lot, and I'm sure the industry will benefit, and your vision has really taken the council to this level. And thank you for listening, sir. If you are willing to speak, I would really urge you to say something. Otherwise, I know Wahab told me that you don't want to speak, but I will leave it to the next speaker. You know, Mr. Jalan Saab is the most dynamic person that I have sent, and he's my encyclopedia. Whenever I have a doubt, I used to just pick up a call and ask him, and he's so well versed. Whatever today I was able to, go to the government and speak to the bureaucrats, and the way that the government has helped, I think I must thank Jalan Saab, and of course with all other former chairmen where I got the inspiration and the wholehearted support from all of them. Without their blessing, we would not have been successful today. And also, as you see, all the regional chairmen have acknowledged the fact the real foundation of this council is of all these former chairmen who have put a real hard work. We are only enjoying this today. Without their hard work, council would not have been to what we are today. Now, may I request Jalan Saab to say a few words, and then I have another important speaker, and then I still leave the time to Mr. Hashim Saab to say something if he could say. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, Jalan Saab.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I guess you have outperformed all of us. So don't say that dynamic and all those words, because you have outperformed all of us. Okay, and I think Habib also already mentioned that the COVID has come as a root shock to all of us, I believe. I think especially to me, because me and my son, we both were traveling in Europe when all these things started, and we both were quarantined back home when we came back home. So for a few days, we were just at a loss what to do. But as the things started unfolding, and the way our industry is taken up, and especially the way the chairman has kept the government engaged, if chairman and his team would not have got the government engaged, we as an industry would not have got what we have got today. Though, as everybody has said, this is a new normal which we have to understand, which have to follow for next few years, I believe, and then it will become a way of life. I think we all have already upgraded our factories to the best practices and best SOPs we have to follow. Of course, that has affected to a certain extent because of the space constraint, the productivity also, though that's probably a blessing in disguise, since most of us do not have the same kind of productivity orders as what we had earlier. But at the same time, I want to share a few things what I have observed during these days in my own factory. The workman, maybe he is little nervous about his job, has become more efficient. He has started delivering more than what he used to deliver, and that's also is true for the supervisors or the managers, because they are not sure that what's going to happen to their jobs going forward. So that's one of the things, and that would probably, if we could sustain that, we could do that, then as the chairman has suggested, then we can keep the overheads down. We really cannot reduce the overheads much, but we have to keep them at a level whereby you remain competitive. As Habib has said, going forward, we may not get anything from the government. We may not get a lot from the government, but right now, with the efforts of the entire team of the chairman and the chairman himself, and executive director, vice chairman, that the biggest surprise, that was a big windfall, which, at least for me, what the increase in the drawback rates of the footwear. So that was a big thing. But what's going to happen going forward is the sustainability will become a big word. And we all need to work towards creating a sustainable product for the marketplace, and which needs to be looked holistically. Means I am getting a lot of requests from my customer to give them a sustainable product. Sustainable means which should be environment friendly, because at least for some days or some months or at least for some years, they all want nothing to do with anything from man-made material, China or something. So that's an issue. We have to work very fast, and the turnaround time, whether it is samples or production, has to be minimum 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. That's the maximum what you will get. Means now we are getting sample requests, because as I think Naresh mentioned, a lot of us are getting some inquiries where the production is being transferred from China, and they want those samples to be duplicated like yesterday. And if we could do that, we probably have a shot at that production. So another thing which you can do, and I have been getting a lot of offers, if like with the government policies, the price of the machinery right now, any kind of capital goods is down by almost 25-30%, and with extended payment terms. So there is a possibility to upgrade your facilities, to technologically advance your facilities, and go with a sustainable product. I think there would be a lot more emphasis now on the treatment and LWG factories, treatment plants. That will be a lot of emphasis that what we are doing, what we are not doing. And like everybody is saying, we have to be prepared for a very fast change. And as Naresh has said, crisis creates innovations. So this is the time for the innovations. As Habib has pointed out, I think I am also hearing a lot from US that the mom and pop stores are going to come back very fast, instead of the big mall situation. You would like to go to a neighborhood store, which is an independent store, maybe for footwear, but you don't want to go into the crowd, and where you can go and walk in with a real casual way and maintaining the social distancing. So, well, I think under the circumstances, we have been adapting to the changes, and though we are down, but not doing bad. I must say I'm not doing bad, and thanks to you, Chairman, thanks to the Vice Chairman, Executive Director, and the entire team, what you have been able to get from the government for the industry. That's been really helpful, because that would help us to keep competitive. And whatever we have gone through for last 1.5 months or whatever, when there was a total lockdown and there was no production or a very slow production, and we had to still keep on paying the fixed charges, that would really help. Thank you very much. And well, we'll be talking more on this subject. Thank you. This is a very interesting subject. Thank you.
Thank you, Jalal, for your inspiring words and speech today. Before I go to the next speaker, Mr. Rafiq Ahmad just spoke to him. He was online, but he has to leave the meeting. That's why he could not say something today, but also on record, his contribution to council and to all of you has been to the greatest extent. And I always say, before I go to this other speaker, Mr. Mukhtarul Amin Saab, who I always say that I have enjoyed every moment of his leadership, where I was a vice chairman, and he has been a great support to the council for the leather export. I always say that you might laugh at me, but I say my school is Rafiq Ahmed, my college is Amin Saab. So dear Amin Saab, please say about your experience. You're a very successful person, and especially during the COVID time, how we industry should evolve to the next level.
Super evening to all of you. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Chairman for organizing this webinar. It's really important at this time where we all sit together and share our experience, get the suggestions. In fact, all previous speakers, chairman, regional chairman, vice chairman, and ex-chairman, they spoke so well, and they have given a very clear picture of today's situation, and they have given the suggestions also what to do in today's situation. So I really don't have much to add. I mean, whatever I'll be saying, probably repeating some of things which they already said. But before I say something, I just want to, I mean, since I know Mr. Hashim is here, and of course Mr. Rafiq is left, at this situation, this difficult situation, the industry looks forward for their suggestion. I mean, I will request Mr. Hashim to please suggest the industry what we can do. I mean, with your experience, you have seen all up and downs of the industry, so I'm sure what you can suggest at this moment will be definitely very helpful to the industry. So I'll request Mr. Hashim Saab if he could spare some time and suggest us how to overcome with this difficult situation. We all know, I mean, this is a difficult time. We were not ready for this. We never thought that we will come up with this situation. We have to work out on a short-term and long-term plans. We have seen the June figures. It's 40% down in comparison to last year, June. And there will be pressure on sales. Even some of the speakers said that the online sales is increasing, but overall sale will definitely under a lot of pressure. People have lost their jobs, the incomes are not that much. Our product, footwear, leather goods, it's not the priority, it's come on the last priority. Even after other necessary things, before buying a shoe or before buying a bag, people prefer to buy a new mobile phone. If it's a new model of mobile phone, they want to spend money on that instead of spending money on shoe or the leather goods. So we are going to have a difficult time. So at this moment, since the demand will be less, so obviously the pressure on prices will be too high. So we have to see how can we be more economical. We have to reduce our costing, as the chairman suggested that we should work out on our overheads. How can we reduce our further overheads? So in this difficult situation, I think CLE, of course, is doing a lot of things. Mr. Akil Ahmed, I'm also involved in council from last 35 years. I've not seen any chairman that's really devoted so much of time and so much of committed for the industry. So whatever today we got, as the earlier speaker said, is because of his continuous efforts. And today, how the industry is, accepted by the government in each ministry. Even the Prime Minister is speaking about the leather and footwear, which is a big thing. It never happened before. So, but I think what the chairman should focus at this moment, whatever pending FTAs are. I mean, if you can get those clear fast, if you can get the GSP matter sorted out with the US, that will really help in increasing our sales. So this is what is definitely very important in today's situation. beside the cost control, industry should focus now on the product development, since the market is going to be difficult. So we have to be very innovative in our product development. We have to increase probably our basket of products also. We have to think what more we can add it to the basket so that we have more buyers, and then this way we can probably fill our factories. The order situation from September onward is unfortunately very poor. So at this moment, we can't go for the marketing. The traveling will not be possible. Whatever fairs at the moment they are showing, but I'm very sure most of the fairs are going to be cancelled. The online exhibition, which we did for the Russian business, it will take some time to people accept that, and we start getting traffic on that. So at this difficult time, as I said, we need advice of our mentors, Hashim Saab or Rafiq Saab, what to do. GSP and FTA is definitely going to help us. And as I said, the cost control, product development, these things where the industry should be focusing. So my previous speakers, they have mentioned all these things, so I really don't have to repeat. And once again, thanks to the chairman for giving us this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amin sir. Thank you. And first of all, I would like to thank the audience here. Normally, even in the entertainment industry, people don't have the patience to sit for more than 1.5 hours. So we have been listening, and this has been another 5 minutes. We will complete 2 hours of time. And I'm sure that industry will benefit. This is a 5 billion voice, what we are talking here. These are very, very important people who have contributed to the economy, to the business, and to the exporters. And our ministry also knows that how important is our industry, is not only because Mr. Habib Hussain always tells me, Chairman always talk about export, never talk about employment, but I have learned from him, and also it's true that employment is very, very important, and industry employs the highest number of people and also highest women. And before I go to, and also I promise that I could not handle your questions on the chat, but I would definitely sit down and reply to each one of you. And I'm sure that another 5 minutes we would conclude by our executive director. Before that, is there anyone who wants to say quickly, or I would wind up? And thank you for joining. And one more last, Saab, if you are there, you want to say something on behalf of Father or your Hashim Saab, please. Great, Mr. Amin Saab has to talk.
Sincerely request you to set up a synergy team at CLE, because there are inquiries from customers for kid shoes I don't produce. There are inquiries for high-end lady shoes I don't produce. I don't want these customers to go elsewhere. I want them to stay within India. Let these inquiries go through CLE, or I can call up these. But if they go through CLE, then the morale will be very high. So this is a very upfront and honest submission that I want to make. And likewise, other exporters should also come through and say, this is what my customer is asking, let's provide him. So what I call this synergy team. Thank you.
It's a good thought. And also, I don't know whether I mentioned, CLE have signed a MOU with Invest India, government organization, to bring foreign investments into the country. And also we will bring all these opportunities like children's shoes and sports footwear definitely to India, and we need to market that. We have been, in fact, this 24 hours during the lockdown is not enough for all of us. I need 48 hours in a day to work. So I hope that definitely we'll sit down again and make sure that we'll bring, and also, there are a lot of issues which are coming up and we need to handle, including the norms for the finished leather has to be relaxed, and product segment has to gain, and a lot of issues that we have to finalize very soon. And hope to, we will also be having a meeting, and probably we'll come back to the audience soon. And with all your permission, if I can conclude this meeting.
I extend a warm gratefulness to all the participants. Especially, I always admire our chairman's capability. Already, everybody explained about his style of functioning, everything. Then cricket, there was an ad. When there was a cricket, you eat cricket, drink cricket, and think cricket. Like that, chairman is always thinking about CLE. He's really dynamic and is doing wonderful works. It is not on working day or holiday or any day. He's available for guidance and direction of the CLE. And the same way, all the regional chairmen also, they are raising all these issues. What are the issues related to the regions they are raising? And CLE is always trying to work out with the government. It is not only working with the government, and the foreign government also. We are in coordination with many embassies and very senior ambassadors, everybody, to conduct BSMs and other marketing activities also. This is a tough time, but personally, what I feel, only the rough sea makes a good sailors. That crisis is always a time for invention and innovation. That way, today I'm really happy. So all stalwarts, starting from the founder, Mr. Malik Saab, and others, Rafiq Saab, and others, they all their presence and their smile really gives confidence to our members, Jalan Saab, Amin sir, and all our regional chairman and vice chairman. It's a wonderful team. What we are always working as a family. We always get the suggestion from regional chairman and members, everything, whatever is coming to us, we are sending to the government, and we are working in the back of the members, and we also try to sort out whatever the issues coming to our hand. And also members, if they feel any issues are not addressed properly, or it is getting time consumed, you are always 24/7 also. Our deputy directors and our additional directors, they are also working very well. It is not time-bound work. It is not a 10 to 5, something like that. They work day and night. Whenever getting issues, we are talking to them. And we are always happy to work with a wonderful team. It is not only working for ourselves, our company. We are working for the country. Our growth is a country's growth, especially the tough time. So we need to put extra energy. We need to go for innovation and invention. This will take the industry to the next level. So of course, many may think that it may go down, but at the same time, how we have to swim across this tough situation. This is my feeling that we can. This is one industry still it is performing better than many other industries. Yesterday also, some of our members discussed this issue in detail. With this, I conclude my remarks. I thank all the participants, especially all former chairman and regional chairman, vice chairman, chairman, and all founder members, and all other members for their wonderful contribution for the growth and development of the Indian leather, footwear, and other sector industry. So we will take this industry to the next level, though it is a toughest time, but we will all sail through. And if there is any issues related to any state government or government of India, we always take up with the government. And already many spoke about that one. All the state governments are proactive, and government of India also very much proactive as far as our industry issues are concerned, starting from logistic, banking, and other issues. So apart from that, many embassies are also very much active. The many ambassadors, many high commissioners, they are contacting us because the CLE has established a wonderful reputation all over the world, not only in India. So it all works for the period of at least 4 or 5 decades. It's not the one day sweat that we have done, but this is due to the hard work put by all our members and the senior members. So thank you very much all the members and our dynamic chairman, vice chairman, and all our former chairman and regional chairman and other members also to participate in this meeting. We as a CLE, as a family, we will work together, and we are willing to take all your issues with the government and vice versa. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I have failed in my duty to acknowledge and thank all the regional directors, staff of the CLE, especially stood during this crisis, and also the Committee of Administration, and also the panel conveners who have really worked hard, and each panel convener have done, including the raw materials and designers, and everybody has contributed to the CLE. And also special thanks to our auditors who have done wonderful job in this, especially Mr. The auditors like Mr. Raghunath, Mrs. Uma Prakash, everyone has been there. Our legal team, our lawyers, Mr. Nalin Koliji, Mr. M.R. Venkateshan, Mrs. Nirmal, Ravi Chandran, Mr. Ravi Shankar, who we have been in contact with all the legal and lawyers how to face this situation, and also the auditors have put us into a very, very comfortable zone, And I thank you all. And I'm sure that I'm sorry that I have to conclude now. And you are most welcome to give your comments and we will reply to you. Thank you and thank you for joining and joining.